Pleased to be joined by head coach South Plains College Texans, Coach Steve Green. Coach, we talked about it a week or so ago, that one of these nights the ball wasn't going to fall and somebody was going to jump up and bite you, and it happened against a good Odessa team on Monday night somewhere.
Well, you know, they're. I mean, we knew they were a good team, and obviously when you make, or shall I say, you miss 72% of your shots, you know, things are going to happen that you know you're not real pleased with, but. I think you have to obviously give them a lot of the credit for that. I mean, I think they had a pretty good game plan against us, and we had some guys I think that they were okay with shooting, and we had some guys that launched a few shots. It's kind of out of character for them, but and then we just kind of spiraled downward. It was kind of a strange game. I actually felt at halftime that we had played miserable, and with the exception of a calculated risk right before the half, we're going to be ahead. And starting the second half with the ball and possession to score, and I thought, we're going to be all right, and we're not playing well, or we sure as heck weren't shooting very well. But then the wheels came off, and we got desperate, and instead of doing what a really smart team does, we just we thought, well, maybe I can catch up with one shot, and it seemed to me that each attempt was a little bit more difficult than the previous one, and hey, before you know it, I mean, you're sitting there with a 10 or 11, 12-point deficit and trying to catch up fast. Now it's 16 and 18 and 20, so hopefully we can learn something from it. Remains to be seen whether we will or not, and we probably won't know until next Monday.
Yeah, and the 20 points looks a lot worse probably on the board than it was, but it was bad enough.
Yeah, it's a 10-point game, I think, and it's one of those deals where you just throw up stuff to try to catch up at the very end, and if you make it, it gets kind of scary for them. But if you miss, and it's frightening for us, and that's exactly what happened. But I think with 4 or 5 minutes to go in the game, we're only down 9. And honest to goodness, I did not know where to go to find baskets that night. We were scratching our head trying to come up with different scoring sets and plays and stuff, but there just really wasn't anybody that was in sync, and that we had a lot of confidence that they were going to make a shot, and I don't think they did either. Our players, I think they got kind of rattled, maybe for the first or second time this season. So, hey, we got a week to get ready for the next one, and if we learn from that, it'll be a valuable lesson, but. Hopefully we don't have to lose again to spend the next week trying to teach again.
And that's the good news. You're still in front in this conference. You're still in a great place going down the backside of it. And although it's a loss on the road, it's a loss to a good team on the road, and it's certainly something that you can move on from, I would think, relatively easily.
Well, I don't want to be the spoiler here or throw out anything, but I didn't think anybody's going to go through this league undefeated. We were very fortunate that we were sitting where we were, and in all honesty, where we are. I mentioned earlier in the week that this was going to be a very, very tough stretch for us because we are playing the probably playoff teams, one right after another. So there's not an opportunity, to try to stop and catch your breath. I mean, you got to keep plowing through it, and it doesn't get any easier. I mean, the team that we're going to go play Monday night is very good, I think, and they gave us fits here. I basically feel like we won that game because we played here that night. So hopefully we're much improved over that, and hopefully they're not.
Have you ever seen the conferences balanced? I mean,
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I do. I think almost every year it's this way. Hey, the year that we went undefeated in the league, the 2, 3, and 4 teams, I think were all maybe like all tied, or one loss separated them, and I think almost every year that you get down into early February and people start putting a pencil to it and figuring out one loss here and I could be out of the playoffs. Hey, last year we ended up 4th in the league, but there was a game that was also being played that same night that had it gone the other way, Odessa, which ended up finishing 2nd in the conference, would have been eliminated from the playoff picture. So yeah, I think every year that there's, like I said, there's a basket made or a basket missed that probably eliminates a team and finishes their season. So, and there's never, in my opinion, there's never much difference between 1 and 5. One was just able to go win a couple of games barely that 5 lost. So I think the balance in this league is just really difficult to deal with. It's a tough league.
Talked about learning some things before going to Western Texas coming up on Monday. What's some of the focal points here coming off this loss to Odessa?
Well, to come down and like we did against Midland and make 15 threes, it covers up some things that maybe you don't do quite as well. And in a game like Odessa, when you're not scoring, you get exposed. And I thought defensively we were very lackluster. I don't think we played with a lot of intensity on the defensive end. We were not very sharp at all. And I attribute some of that to the mindset that we've kind of got ourselves in, and that is, we're gonna shoot the ball, and if it goes in, we feel good, and if it doesn't, we really don't have a plan B that we can go to. And I mean, we have one, but we have not been able to find it. And so I think that we got to get back on the floor and figure out how we're going to hold somebody to 65 points. In all honesty, I mean, how can we keep them to 65 or less in a fairly fast-paced game that when we may only be able to score 66? So that I think we've got to do a much better job of either getting that across or them accepting it, or us concentrating and figuring out some certain things. There seemed to me in this game there were a lot of easy baskets that they got. They scored a lot of baskets in the paint, I think. And I mean that should be a source of pride with us. That no, that can't happen. We knew that they were going to knock down some threes. In all honesty, we were actually giving them to them. You can make those shots. That's fine. And I was fine with really what we did defensively the first half. But then the second half we just fell apart. And so what happens? Well, you lose a game.
A lot of recovery time.
Yeah, we watched a lot of film. We watched a lot of film yesterday, and we've got 4 or 5 days to get ready. We probably got another day off. Practice-wise, we need to be fresh. I don't think we need to kill ourselves out here. This week we need to. What we're going to do. We really need to do it well, short, snappy, get through it, and then let's move on.
All right, Coach. Seems that time for this one. Final thoughts for us today before we let you get back to the regular job and get ready for Western Texas coming up on Monday.
Well, it'd be nice if some people would, drive down to Snyder, to follow us, because I really do think that's going to be a playoff type game. I think the one the following Thursday in Big Spring will be the same, and then the following Monday here against New Mexico. Those 3 are all playoff caliber teams and playoff caliber games, I believe. So.